Social Security benefits for a surviving divorced spouse. All right, so this is affecting me. Well, my mom. All right, so my mom is still alive. She's 77. My dad just died last week at 76. God bless, RIP. I've already said my prayers. I didn't have a relationship with my dad. I've already did a video on that. But so the question is, will my mom be entitled to his Social Security benefit? All right. Now, my mom was married a second time to an older man who died 15 years ago or something like that. Probably less than that. But anyway, probably maybe 10 years ago. All right. So here's the rules from Social Security. If you are the divorced spouse of a worker, that'd be my mom is a divorced spouse of a worker, my dad, who dies, you could get benefits the same as the surviving spouse, provided that your marriage, that my mom and my dad were married for more than 10 years, which they were. So my dad died, and he was married again, and he left his wife, so she can get his Social Security benefits as the surviving spouse. This is called a survivor benefit. Always remember, there's 3 types of Social Security benefits. There's your own retirement benefit based on your record. There's a spousal benefit, which is half of the higher earner's benefit. So if your higher earner makes $3,000, you could get no more than $1,500. That's a spousal benefit. All right. And then there's a survivor benefit. The survivor benefit is 100% of what the deceased was receiving. I hope that makes sense. So if your own record is higher, then you might not want the survivor benefit. I'm not going to get into the minutia in there that could be played to your advantage. I've done videos on that before. I'm not going to get to it here today. But let's just say my mom's Social Security is $2,000 a month. I don't know if that's true. Let's just say that I haven't spoken to her about it. All right, my mom's Social Security benefit was $2,000 a month on her own record, or on the record of her other husband who died. Now my dad dies, and we'll just say my dad made more money, and he had a higher Social Security benefit of $3,000 a month. Could my mom then step, because my mom's second husband was an attorney, but he didn't make very much money. My dad, on the other hand, was I don't want to say he wasn't wealthy, but he lived in the D.C. area, worked for corporate corporations and whatnot. So he was probably making 6 figures. I don't know that to be true. I have no clue. But anyway, I would assume my dad was making more than my mom's second husband, just because my mom's second husband was basically an estate planning attorney who didn't make any much money. He made some money on wills and settling estates, but wasn't much. In Maine, and my dad worked in D.C. in a corporate environment down there. And so we'll assume my dad was making $3,000 a month in Social Security, and my mom's second husband was making $2,000 a month. All right, so here's the rules here again. The first marriage lasted 10 years. My mom's marriage did, in fact, last for 10 years. I think they got married in 68, 69. They divorced in 79, 80, something like that. So they did last 10 years. That's a fact. Benefits paid to you as a surviving divorced spouse, so benefits paid to my mom, won't affect the benefit for other survivors, which would be my dad's second wife. We'll call her Jane. So my mom is Susan, so Susan receiving benefits from my dad's record would not affect what Jane would get. Jane is the surviving spouse of my dad, who's not divorced, but surviving spouse of my dad. But again, he had to be married for more than 10 years. And if you remarry after the age of 60, or age 50, if you have a disability, the remarriage will not affect your ability for survivor benefits. All right, so that's what I don't know. I don't know. I know my mom had some disabilities. I don't know if that would be allowable under Social Security Administration, because I think she got remarried before she was 60. But she did have some disabilities, and I think she had doctor's notes and all that too. So my presumption is my mom would qualify for my dad's Social Security because she got remarried after the age of 50 with a disability. I don't know that for sure, but I think that would. Now, she doesn't have any children under age of 16 or anything like that, so that's not applicable to her. But again, she's remarried. The marriage lasted 10 years. She didn't get remarried before 60 or 50 with a disability, and my mom, she knows the system. She was an accountant by trade, so she knows. So I think that would be applicable to her. So if my mom's Social Security benefit was $2,000 for her second husband, and my dad was getting $3,000, and I don't know what my dad was getting. My mom doesn't know what my dad was getting. What my mom would have to do is go down to the Social Security office and say, "Hey, My husband, who I was married, my ex-husband, who I was married to for more than 10 years, has died. And I want to see if I can get a bump in my Social Security benefits because of that. And they're going to say, do you have proof of the death certificate? Well, death certificate, Social Security would be already made aware of the death. Do you have proof that you were married? On 100%. There's a marriage certificate. Here's the divorce decree. That's over 10 years. Well, you got remarried, Sue, before you're the age of 60. Now, I got remarried with a disability. Here's a doctor's note or whatever it is for the disability. So if I'm only getting $2,000 a month and my ex-husband was getting $3,000 a month, who has died, I can qualify for that. It's a big deal, man. So remember, if you were married, let's just say you're married. Let's say you're 45 years old and your husband's cheating on you. You're like, this guy's a clown, or vice versa, man. I mean, I don't care. You're like, man, you've been married 9.5 years. Just hang in there for another 6 months, because if you've been remarried, if you've been married for more than 10 years, you have opportunity to qualify for survivor benefits based on your ex. You had to be married for more than 10, and you can't be remarried before you're 60 or 50 with a disability. So just keep that in the back of your mind. And then once you find out that your ex has died, and if you fall for those two things, again, you have to be married more than 10 years, and you can't be have remarried before 50 with disability or 60 with no disability. Contact Social Security and see if you can get a raise in your benefit. I mean, it'd be crazy not to do that. All right. Love your thoughts. We'll see you.